So if you are looking to break into DevOps and you've heard about Kubernetes and you want to jump onto it, then you've come to the right channel. If you don't know me, I am the founder of CodeJanitor and I'm also recently CKA, CKAD, and CKS certified. So I know a thing or two that I can show you to also get you started on your Kubernetes journey. But my concept is going to be not theoretical, it's going to be much more practical. But again, we won't forget the theory. Sorry about that. So I'll try to make the theory as much as possible for you to understand. I want to break all the complex topic for you to understand, because already the system is not so complex, but you can overcomplicate it, okay? Or you can watch other videos that overcomplicate some of the simple basic concepts. So my job here is to ensure that you understand Kubernetes just like a 6th grade, okay? So let's jump right into presenting this documentation that I have made. So first of all, to learn about Kubernetes, we need to know what Kubernetes is, okay? So what is Kubernetes? Well, it is a way to just manage your application on the internet. That's it. That's it. Don't overthink it, because again, Kubernetes help you deploy applications onto the internet so that people can use them. But Kubernetes is also going to help you keep your application running, because now just sit back. Okay, so if you look at Kubernetes, it's just like a computer. It's just like a computer with software in it, and the software is called Kubernetes. That's all. Okay, that's the baseline, and then that software is going to help you deploy application onto the internet. Now it's also going to help you scale application. So in case tomorrow you deploy 2 instances of your application and you want 4, then you can scale your application reliably through Kubernetes. Again, if you deploy something to your application, deploy a new application through GitHub, and then your application breaks, now you are able to recover your application without overthinking. Also, let's say tomorrow you build an application with only a login page, and tomorrow you want to add a dashboard to it. Then you can also update your application safely. Okay, so basically, all in all, Kubernetes, imagine Kubernetes is a software on a computer. That's all. And then when that software is on the computer, it will help you run application. When it helps you run the application, again, you can also scale up the application. Scale up meaning multiply the application. So the same application, you can have different version of it, or you can have the same application for about 6, 4, 5 times. Again, why do you do this? You do this so that you don't actually have all the traffic hitting one application service, okay? So when you build an application in the old way, you will build an application and then deploy it on a virtual machine, or deploy it on your computer at home and then host it to the internet. Now, thousands of people wants to buy your product or wants to see your resource. And when they want to see your resource, they hit the same computer for many times. So you can imagine this can become very stressful for your system, whichever system it is, okay? Don't overthink it. Just imagine, okay? Just imagine it is a computer for yourself, your computer that you are watching me from now, or your device that you are watching me from now. Basically, it should be a laptop or a monitor, okay? So when you imagine it this way, when you have thousands of requests hitting your server, you are going to stress the computer and it will end up crashing, okay? So Kubernetes help you deploy the same application in smaller chunks, so that traffic can be distributed across your application, okay? So when you hear Kubernetes for the first time, do not panic. When I heard Kubernetes for the first time, it was like rocket science, and actually I think some of the concepts were really overcomplicated, and I want to do my best to ensure that you can also get the main working Kubernetes concept without overthinking, okay? So the next thing we will look at today is also, when it comes to Kubernetes, there are 2 things you need to know: a node and a pod. Many a times when you hear node, you think it's like it's like something in the cloud, and your brain can't even take it, like node. Hey, this is a very big word. Oh my god. When you hear node, it is simply a computer running Kubernetes. So now my computer, it has Kubernetes on it, so it is a node. You can call it anything you want, but a node is a computer running Kubernetes. So when the computer is infected with Kubernetes software, then you have a node. Okay, let's take it this way. When a computer is infected with Kubernetes software, then that computer becomes automatically a node. So a node is a computer running Kubernetes. Please remember, do not forget this. A node is a system running Kubernetes. It's very crucial. That is the base foundation. If you understand these concepts, the rest will not be so difficult. Okay? Moving forward, we have to understand when it comes to node, there are two types of node again. So we understand that when it comes to Kubernetes, there are two things we need to understand very well. One, a node. Two, a pod. Okay? One, a node. Two, a pod. Now, when it comes to the node, it's like biology. When it comes, sorry about that. So now, when it comes to the node, there are two main type of node that you need to know. One is called the control plane node. The control plane node, this is like an aeroplane. And then you have the cockpit. That's where the pilot is. And what do the pilots do? They control the whole plane, right? So control plane node means this is the brain of Kubernetes. This is the brain. This is going to store the brain of your whole system, okay? This is going to store the brain of your whole system. So a control plane node is the brain of Kubernetes. That is all, not overcomplicating it, okay? And then what does it do? What does that do? It helps you with scheduling. Now you are asking code janitor. So what is scheduling? So scheduling is the process of deploying your application. Okay, I want to make it as clear and simple as possible. So scheduling is just the process of deploying your application. So let's say now we have, when we go to the next one, it will make sense. When we have 2, 3, 4, 5 worker node, then the control plane, its job is going to ensure that we are able to schedule a pod. No, let me use terms that you understand. The control plane node is its responsibility is going to schedule an application to computer A or computer B or computer C up to Z, which are the nodes. Okay, they are also nodes. So it also helps you manage the cluster. So when you hear cluster, oh my God, it's simple. Cluster is a group of Kubernetes node. Okay, cluster is a group of Kubernetes node. So my computer has Kubernetes on it. It's a Kubernetes node. Your computer has Kubernetes on it. It's a Kubernetes node. Yours and mine combined together becomes a cluster. That's all. So it's just a group of nodes together becomes the cluster. So the control plane is going to manage those groups of computers together. Okay, so we will do this theory, and then this is going to be hands-on, but again, we are not going to forget the theory as well, because you need to understand these basics, and I try my best to ensure that you get it once and for all, and do not overthink it. So if you are going to take your exams for the ckad, the CKA, the CKS, it's going to be easier for you. Okay, so the next thing is also to talk about the types of node. So the type of node is what we're talking about now. The first one is the control plane, remember. Now the second one again, listen here. Okay, listen here. Now the second one again is the worker node. So when you hear the worker node, it's just a computer that is deploying applications. A computer that you are deploying applications on becomes a worker node. Simple as that. So without further much ado, let's jump right into some practical aspect of this so you get the concept. Okay, so now again, imagine my computer. Now you can see my computer now. It is a computer with Kubernetes, so that means it is a node. Okay, but there is this platform that has Kubernetes playground for us that we can use. Okay, so we will go to Killer Coder. So if you go to Killer Coder website, you can have this playground to play around. Okay, so now let's say we will just go with playgrounds, and then we will select Kubernetes version 1.35. Let's take that version and play around. Okay, good. So forget about what is here. Forget about what is here, and then let's focus here. Let's focus on the black aspect. So on the black terminal, we are going to see that we have a terminal. So when you start to deal with deployment, you are going to love the terminal. You should love it. Me, I love it. But in the beginning, it is complex. Oh, what is this? Why terminal? Why can't we just have a UI, that we can just deploy and everything is nice? Yes, we can, but the best way to manage your systems is through the terminal. Okay, so don't let anybody lie to you. So now we are talking about Kubernetes. Now this is a computer. Imagine this website now is a computer. Every website is a computer. Okay, so this website is a computer and it has a node. It is a node. It is a node. Has Kubernetes on it. So now let's say to run some Kubernetes command. You know what? Let's go to Kubernetes documentation itself so that we can use it. Why not? So kubernetes.io. So if you go to kubernetes.io, then search for cheat sheets. I like to give you some cheat sheets so you can always stay ahead of your friends. Okay, so if you go to cheat sheet, we have a lot of references that we can make here. So now what I want to do is to ensure that we are going to use bash. So already it is configured for that, but just to show you what I would do, and then I would also use k alias for kubectl. So now in order to run command for Kubernetes, the responsible command is going to be kubectl in order to communicate with Kubernetes. But now kubectl, can't you see, it's too funny? It's too long. What is this? Let's replace it with k. Okay, let's replace it with k. So kubectl, then we say k. Okay, yes. So we will run this one. So this command will set it to k for us. So now let's run some Kubernetes command here in the terminal. So if you focus on the terminal, we will see we run k get node. So in order to get all the nodes in the cluster, we use the command k get node. Run that. Then now you see we have one called control plane node and another one called node 01. We have one called control plane node and another one called node 01. So what does the control plane node do? The control plane node is going to be the responsible part for scheduling your application onto your Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so now we have a worker node 1. So automatically whenever we deploy an application, it is going on that node 01. So when you see the node 01, we can have node 01, node 02, node 03. So if you are working in a big organization, then we have nodes up to 2000, nodes up to 300, nodes up 25, nodes up to 4, nodes up to 5. So we have a node 01. Whenever we deploy application, that's where it's going. So we know where our applications will be living. Okay. Now we have node 01 down. The next thing we need to also check again is, what did we talk about? So the next thing we have control plane, and then we have node 01. So again, imagine in this video, we get to understand Kubernetes, control plane, the type of nodes that exist, control plane, and node 01, node 02, node 03, up to node whatever the company has, or up to node whatever you want to have. Okay, so when you create your Kubernetes cluster, you set up your control plane, and then now you can onboard passengers. So the passengers are going to be node 01, node 02, node 03, node 04, up to whatever. So in this video, that will be it. So we don't get you complex, we don't get you stressed over this basic concept. Okay, so what you take home from this video is understand node, understand the types of node, and then understand this node commands, this Kubernetes command. So we run get nodes, and then we can also run get ports. So to get all the ports, we run -a to get all the ports in our system. Then we can see all the ports in our system. This is good. This is the basics of Kubernetes. Sorry about that. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't have to overthink it. This is just the basic that you need for this first step. Okay, so don't forget, if you are going for your CKA or your CKAD or your CKS, you can find the link in the description down below to the right materials that I've put together that can help you clear the exams, just like the way I've done, and also many people are also enjoying. Okay, so I'm here for you. If you have any message, don't forget, shoot them in a comment, and I'll check them, get them answered for you, ensure that I clear all the doubt that you have. Okay, I want to ensure that you understand Kubernetes so that when you go to your next job interview, you will do well. Okay, I want you to do well for me. Okay, if you don't want to do well for yourself, don't worry, do well for me. Okay, it is easy, learn it. And then if you are an engineer now, you need to have multiple skills. Okay, so if you know a little bit about development, learn DevOps. If you know a little bit about DevOps, learn a bit about security. If you know a little bit about security, learn a bit about integration AI into